Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome to Tuesday Night Live with me, coming live into your eyes and ears direct from Windy Bottom, here in the Peak District National Park, where it's a bit bloody cold, to be honest with you. And I've got some exciting news. I actually used my, what's it called? Top Tom JS 1200 for the first time today as an actual jump starter, because I went to work tonight in the Honourable Shison and his bat was a little bit flat. So I actually got to use it at last. So that's thrilling news, isn't it? And oh well, let's see who we've got, shall we? Good evening all, says Joe in his normal warm and all-encompassing way. How has your day been? He goes on to kindly inquire. I'm looking forward to another fantastic live. Oh well, no pressure then, is there? Are you in the right place? I have moved you. Have I moved you to? Oh well, I had to move you today, didn't I? You shouldn't be wonked, but you might not be as central as you would wish to be. Let me have a look. I think you are slightly rotationally wonked. And allow me to rotationally unwonk you. Have I overwonked? I may have overwonked. Do you want to go back a bit? Try that. See how you get on with it. I can always move you if need be. Your comfort and well-being is my primary concern, and I never want you to forget that. And now that looks a bit blurry to my eye, so I'm now going to wipe you. Hold still, darlings. Did anybody else's mother used to spit on a hanky and wipe your face when you were out in public? I kind of miss that now. I wish somebody would do it for me now. Feature number 2. Would you love somebody? God, you're even worse now. Or is it my eyesight? I'm not pissed again, am I? Yeah, you're all blurry and... Anyway, feature number 2. Would you like somebody to... Excuse me. Would you like somebody to spit on their hanky and rub your face when you're in the pub? What am I? Oh, right, let's try you with a microfiber. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Oh, that's much better. There we go. That's what was needed, the old microfiber. You're looking lovely now. Absolutely lovely. Good evening, Joe, says Simon. I've had a good old ride out on the bike today, much needed. Yourself? Steve Cog is in our midst and strikes a pose. Oh God, right. I've had a great day, thanks, says Joe, and glad to hear you've enjoyed a nice ride out on the bike. I mean, he actually said drive out on the bike, but I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that you ride motorised bicycles. I will mostly be lurking tonight, says Simon. Supposed to be up at 5:30 in the AM. God, how dreadful. But good luck with that. Barry is amongst us and says, hello, peeps, how are you? Roger Boaty is here. He's now... Right, I don't know if it's the same Roger Boaty, but he's now masquerading as the caravan rather than the son of a, by all accounts, hard-working hooer. And he's whinging about this, that and the other, but Roger Boaty the caravan, you can stop whinging. I've just watched a fox pin. Oh dear. You can stop whinging, Roger Boaty. You're going to be getting a lot of love and attention over the next week or two. Trace is here, the Greenwood. Evening all. Boaty will be most pleased and shocked. Just checking you've not moved. I know what you're like, slippery little buggers you lot. No, you're wrong. You are wrong. It's not my eyesight. Yeah, you were overwonked. That's better. God, it's a good job I haven't got OCD, isn't it, loves? Where were we? Oh, we were talking to Trace, weren't we? Evening all, Boaty will be most pleased and shocked to know that because of the chilly damp weather, I'm almost fully clothed tonight. I am indeed both pleased and shocked, Trace. That's that's one less picture that I have to try and block from my mind. Diddly-do. Matt's going to put the bin out and then he's going to watch something on telly, and who can blame him? Boaty is fashionably late. I do apologise, I was replying to a massage. Evening all, says Jaden. Oh, and Rob's here, good evening all. Trisha Alderman is here, good evening all. Oh, how lovely. Oh, all of my favourite people. This is grand, I'm enjoying this. And, oh, God almighty. Right, you're doing this on purpose to wind me up because, well, actually, well, I'm not sure now. I'm not sure if I'm losing the plot. I'm not sure if my directional awareness has gone somewhat awry. So, as a distraction technique, I will tell you what's happening tomorrow before I move on to your news. Tomorrow, I'm having a second visit of the week to the yard. So that's exciting, isn't it? And Captain Mustard will be having a first visit of the week to Windy Bottom. And I am going to cook lunch. And for once, it's not going to be anything Asian. Tomorrow, darlings, I will be... Well, do you want to have a guess? Do you want to have a guess what I'll be cooking? Anyway. Yeah, I think that'll do. I think that will do. Right, can we just try and get back to it, please? People don't tune in to watch you obsessing over whether your stupid old iPhone 6 he's doing that on purpose. You're doing that on purpose. I know you're probably watching and you're pinging me on purpose. Yeah, people don't watch you to watch you obsess over your stupid iPhone 6 being in exactly the right position. Just get on with it, please. Thank you. All right. Calm down. Steve says Boaty should use a different car every day. And that is a very good idea indeed. I've kind of had the same idea. and making a different card a feature of the daily diary every day, and doing stuff to them and whatnot, rather than just doing a periodic fleet update. So good shout there, Steve. Evening Jason and evening humans. It's Mike, Classic Wheels Wales, who we are all very fond of. Such a nice man, such a funny man, and he hasn't called me a tosser yet, so he must be ill. Mind you, the night is young. I hate to rub this in, says Barry, but it's 85 degrees here in Jeff City. Ah, yes, well, yay, at least you finally got to use the top don, says Joe. I've been using it for ages, but only as a phone charger upper. Looks like you wiped the camera with snot and toe grease, says Trace. And yeah, it's one of my everyday napkins that's 1,000 shades of grey. Now, don't worry, darlings. If you were to visit Windy Bottom and dine here, you wouldn't get one of these shoddy old napkins. No, no, no. You would get one of the crystal clear white ones from the bottom drawer over there. The really posh ones that I stole from the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. These are just the ones that I use when it's just me on my own. So you're probably not far wrong, Trace. I probably just wiped you with bits of curry and Momo and whatever else I've been shoveling down the little red lane of late. So I apologise for that. Have any of you ever washed your hair in the bath? And I mean actually using the bath water. So, you know, you recline in the bath like a distant emperor of Rome. And then you wash your hair and then you rinse it in the bath. I remember reading something when I was young that said if you do that, your hair will come out dirtier than when it went in. The camera is a bit hazy, says John. We're getting a good bronzing, says Barry, and way better after the microfiber. Yeah, and Joe says being wonked by a microfiber sorted it. That's what it needs. The caravan's still banging on. How do you manage to keep the ladies quiet upstairs while you're streaming? It has happened. I'm not going to tell you when, but there have been live streams where I have had company and you've got no idea, or at least I don't think you had any idea. Although it's never been ladies plural. It's only been ladies or lady singular. Is it safe to come out yet, says Liz. Has the intro music finished? Yes, but I'll play it again just for you. No, I won't. No, I won't. You missed the one where I played the different intro music just for you, and you weren't there, and it served you jolly well right. You'd have loved it. You'd have really enjoyed it. I danced my little arse off. Well, my old fat arse off. I couldn't stop moving to the funky rhythm. Oh, Trace says, I thought it was mustard upstairs. Cheeseburger says, talking of being wonked, I've just watched a video of the crooked house at Himley being illegally demolished and I could cry. Right, I didn't know about the illegal demolition bit. I did see something on Facebook saying that it was on fire, and that made me quite sad because I was rather fond of the crooked house at Himley, and the day that I passed my driving test, that was the first place that I drove to. That night, I drove myself and Donna, my then girlfriend or fiance, whatever she was at that point. I drove us to the crooked house at Himley, which was an amazing place. In my very first car, my Austin Ambassador 2-litre HLS in silver. Registration FFD526Y. So yeah, that is really, really sad. Another part of my history that's gone. He's just put us back to where we were in the first place, says Trace. Yeah, I probably have actually. Oh, and Joe says, I saw that too, Cheeseburger. Bloody awful, innit? Yeah, it is. And Mike says YNWA, which I suspect stands for You'll Never Walk Alone. And somebody has just done a really nice thing. And it's Mike who has sent me a lovely super chat with his catchphrase, Monkey Mouse Cat. And as always, I am incredibly grateful. Simon popped over today, which was lovely, and we had a good old chat. We didn't film any of it, we just had a chat. He was on a ride out, he wasn't far away, he pinged me and said, are you about? And I said, yeah. And he came over, and what did I give him for his trouble? I gave him 2 glasses of water, because he didn't give me the required 24 hours notice of a visit. Sorry, that's a car buying hotline, and apparently there's something that looks good, and they're not watching this live stream, so they can look at it. They, of course, being Captain Von Mustard Face and the unknown banker. And apparently Mustard is still editing. There we are. Anyway, where did I get to? Roger Boaty asks Cheeseburger, do you have much gas in your bottles, and has Mustard filled them up? No, and no is the answer to that. We're not on the wonk, it's your eyes, says Rob. Stop wonking about, says Joe. How is your new fleet member? The new fleet member is doing absolutely fine, annoyingly. I did bring him round the back today and did a bit of filming. And my neighbour, who doesn't know any of my cars by name or anything about the YouTube channel really, she watched one video. And this is my lovely neighbour, my favourite one, Nikki Nunu. She took one look and said, oh, is that Project Nigel? I thought, how the fuck do you know about Project Nigel? So yeah, Nigel is absolutely fine, and thank you so much for asking. No rust on the MOT history either. Well, good, but I want to know what it is now. Oh, how annoying. Why do you have to do this when I'm streaming? Cheeseburger says, Joe, the Crooked House, it stinks. No time for a proper investigation. Insurers won't pay out on that, but the new owners might want it flat, so job done. Oh dear. People don't tune in to see you wonking about quite right. That napkin looks like it's stained with bodily fluids. Well, bit of saliva, no doubt. You know. Not much else. I mean, it hasn't been used for any dodgy purposes. I mean, it's a downstairs thing, and the dodgy practices normally, but not exclusively, take place upstairs. I've said that now. No, we didn't use a napkin. Not this one, anyway. Believe it or not, despite the look of it, this is relatively fresh. This was a clean one today. It's just, it's just quite old, and it's had a hard life. Tosser, says Mike. Oh, that's good as well. Trace says, I always wash my hair in the bath water, but then I rinse with fresh water after conditioner, cause conditioner. Wash your hair in the bath, says Cheeseburger. That won't be a problem for you. And hi, Mike, hope you're well. I wash my head in the toilet, says says Joe. Live streams with company, says Cheeseburger. He has sheep in the field. I do have sheep in the field. All of the sheep are in the top field, in my field. And those are my favourite times, because I open my eyes in the morning and the first thing I see are lovely sheep. Except that's not true of this morning. This is going to sound dodgy, but when I opened my eyes this morning, my beautiful little perfectly wiped bottoms. The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes this morning was Matt, furious driving. So yeah, that was a shock, I can tell you. Oh, dear me. You can imagine that I was quite keen for my first coffee and cigarette of the day after that. Very, very unexpected, and it's very disconcerting because I was quite late going to bed last night after that wonderful live stream, and I think it's fair to say that I wasn't entirely sober, and I didn't remember going to bed with Matt, but I bloody well remember waking up with him. That was, and I heard him before I saw him. He was chatting away about something or other, and I thought, that sounds like Matt. And then, dozed off, woke up again, and I thought, Christ, he's still talking, opened my eyes, and there he was, right just on the pillow next to me, looking at me, talking straight into my ear. I have to tie my hair up before using the loo, or my hair does get washed in the loo water, says Trace. Open brackets, it's very long, close brackets. Good God. The Crooked House sold last week, says Cheeseburger. Caught fire Saturday night. Owners demolished it Monday afternoon. Oh, that does sound a bit dodgy, doesn't it? That does sound a bit dodgy. You actually had an Austin Ambassador Y-Reg, says John Maruzzi. Classic John Shuttleworth, totally. My Austin Ambassador Y-Reg, Y-Reg, Y-Reg. Don't keep asking me why, Reg, it just happens to be that year. You could have a Montego, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I absolutely love that song, but yeah. My first car was actually an Austin Ambassador Y-Reg. I absolutely adore John Shuttleworth. Anybody else a John Shuttleworth fan? 2 margarines on the go, it's a nightmare scenario. 2 margarines in my life doesn't seem to bother my wife. 2 margarines, but which one should I use to butter my scone? It's a dilemma, second to none. Ooh, ooh. And if you didn't know, John Shuttleworth was also Jilted John originally, as in Gordon is a moron. But there you go. Oh right, you'll never work again, as we sing to the Liverpool fans. And Mike says that's fighting talk where I come from. Nigel is a famous card indeed, says Joe. Would it cost much to spray Nigel all the same colour? Well, we'll find out. Good afternoon, Admiral, says Pingu Concord. HJ is fixed. Huzzah! Good old HJ. And ready for more carry-on collections. Brilliant. When are you planning to do it, Pingles, old fruit? Because I would rather like to meet you. In fact, I would very much like to meet you. So if you were going to be at a certain Yard of Dreams and I could make it happen, I would like to pop up and say hello. If that would be all right with you. Excuse me one moment, I'm going to top my wine up. 2 margarines on the go, it's a nightmare scenario. I can't get John Shuttleworth out of my mind now. At the Crouch Tramway Museum. Oh, and what was the one about the, oh God, when his wife left him because he wouldn't buy her a vacuum. Oh, I can't remember that one. Oh, and there was that brilliant one where he duetted with, what's the name? Won the Eurovision Song Contest. Oh, what's her name? What was the song? God almighty, I'm old. I can't remember anything. Right, Katrina. As in Walking on Sunshine. That one. He did a duet with her and it was brilliant. Cheeseburger says, Steve, hang on. Not hard to find what stream Boaty had a woman upstairs in was when he did the short stream. He couldn't wait to get away. And Cheeseburger says the table was elevated on that stream. Good night, Jason. Good night, humans. Be kind, says Mike. Got a 10-hour drive to collect another classic. Oh, I hate it when he just teases us like that and don't tell us what it is. Well, do us a favour, Mike, because we'll worry about you, mate. Not in a bad way. I mean, we just have concern, as we do for everybody. Just let us know that you get back safely. Give us 3 rings when you get back tomorrow, just so we know you're safely back. And then pop on the live stream and let us know what you bought. And I can tell you it's a shed. Get my own back. John Shuttleworth was in Coronation Street when Jilted John was a hit. The title of the song was also Jilted John. Well, I didn't know that. There you go. It's amazing what you learn, isn't it? Now then, darlings, I've caught up with your comments, so I've been a very good boy. Now, tell me, how has today been for you? And, let's do some food stuff. What have you eaten today? I love hearing about your meals, and I'm going to tell you about mine. Tonight, boring, I'm just having curry, same old. But tomorrow, for lunch, a matching pair of his and hers highly powered steaks. That one's mine. That one's mustard's. I've got... Oh, and check this out. How beautiful is this? Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? I love that. I can't wait to get me gob around that tomorrow. I think that's awesome. It looks like Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo, doesn't it? Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to do steak and I'm going to steam some onion potatoes and then I'm going to lightly steam roast them in some infused oil and Italian herbs and serve it all with, and I'll roast some tomato and bung some salad on there. And of course, and I think this might be a first for the good captain. Tewkesbury mustard. They can't call it Tewkesbury mustard because that's, copyrighted or whatever the thing is. So they have to call it horseradish mustard, but that is Tewkesbury mustard. And as some of you have found out, after I told you that you all should get some, it is absolutely fabulous. It's a bit of a game changer, to be honest with you. I might even try it with roast beef as well as with steak. Oh, the romantic steak dinner, says Joe. Oh, God, yeah, I might light some candles as well. I need some new candles, don't I? And I need some flowers. But I looked at flowers in Sainsbury's, not because mustard's coming round, just because it's ages since I've had flowers. And, how long has it been? How long has it been? I haven't had candles or flowers for, 6 months? Something like that. And I love having flowers here. I love having flowers there on the table and over there on the windowsill. Oh dear. But they were £4. £4 for a doings of carnations, if you please. £4. I can't afford £4. Dear me. Oh, I wish I lived near a cemetery or something so I could just go and nick some. Be so much easier. Now then. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Today has been busy, says Cheeseburger. High interest rates make my life difficult. Well, they make a lot of lives difficult, don't they, Cheeseburger? But I imagine yours particularly so. Greg's for tea, says Liz, without the pasty roulette. And yeah, I saw that, Liz. Now, Greg's, which is apparently very popular, although I've never been. Now, I have eaten a Greg's sausage roll. I will admit to that. But that was at a Sainsbury's thing when this is going to sound bizarre. You'll think I'm lying, and I swear to God I'm not. This is true. Right? We used to go to various local events like carnivals, fetes, that sort of thing, and we would set up a Sainsbury's store and we would give samples of our produce, right? So what, you know, whatever that happened to be, and it would be themed to that. So if it was a summer event, it might be like Pimm's or our own version of Pimm's and stuff. If it was winter, we'd be doing mulled wine and hot meat, you know, all of that sort of thing. And all of this stuff had to get there in a van, which meant that one of the grocery online drivers had to drive it. And I did it once, and it was at the Bolsover Carnival. And we were giving away samples of rather nice wine on that occasion. And fortunately, we had 2 drivers with us that day. So I decided to get wellied into the wine, didn't I? And got well and truly pissed. But when I'm a bit pissed, I signed up. We were doing a sign up for something or other, and I signed up so many people because, you know, a little bit disinhibited. I was just getting out there, and I did an impromptu ad hoc radio interview on behalf of Sainsbury's without the authority so to do. That went out on one of the biggest local radio stations and got an amazing response. Now, I expected to get an almighty bollocking for this. This is true. I promise you, this is true. Speak to any of my colleagues from back then and they will tell you this is true. After that day, every time we went and did an event like that, Sainsbury's paid me to go out there and do it, bought the alcohol to get me drunk. So I would go and spend the day somewhere, drunk as a skunk, being paid to do it, drunk on alcohol that had been bought for me by Sainsbury's, and they organised transport there and transport back. And I did that for ages. It was absolutely brilliant. What am I talking about? Oh, Greg's, I remember. And when we did the Chesterfield Christmas Carnival thing, and we got there really early, then the boss went into Greg's and bought a load of coffees and sausage rolls for us. So that is how I have tried a Greg's sausage roll. I've never been in the place. You know, it's one of those places like Wetherspoons, in my mind, that, you know, they're perfectly okay. People love them, but they're for other people, not for me, you know. I know, I'm a terrible snob. But apparently, Trace posted in the Facebook group, Boaty's World on Facebook. Join if you haven't already. It's average. Liz says, sorry, it's Liz, isn't it? Liz says that in Greg's now, they've got like a map thing, like you're getting a box of chocolates, telling you what each unidentified chocolate is by the shape and the pattern. And apparently Greg's are doing that now with their pasties, so that you don't eat a vegetarian pasty by mistake. So that's good. So what did you have for tea from Greg's Liz. I imagine it was pastry based. And did you have something with, oh, well, I was going to say, did you have a nice salad with it? But you won't eat salad, will you? Don't tell me you just ate soggy pastry for tea. Tell me you had something healthy and fresh with it. Pastry's terrible. Have you ever looked at the calorie figures and the saturated fat figures on a bloody sausage roll? Terrifying. You definitely have a woman upstairs, says Steve. Boaty thinks that spud is 6 inches long. Bangers and mash for tea, says Cheeseburger, with onion gravy. And great minds think alike, because that is... Oh, Nick's back. That is exactly what I had for lunch. Bangers and mash with onion gravy. And it was absolutely fabulous. I really enjoyed it. Steal some cancelled daffodils off the side of the road, says Black Lines. They've all gone, haven't they? The best time to buy flowers, mate, is late at night. Supermarkets always reduce them. Yeah, well, that's what I was hoping for tonight, but there weren't any that were reduced. When I used to go to Morrison's on a Monday night, in the long ago, I used to go and shop in Morrison's on a Monday night. It was part of my routine. But that was before I met Mustard and started spending Mondays at the yard. Now, they always had reduced flowers, and I bought them every week. Sainsbury's never do. I had a Cornish pasty for lunch, says Joe, and then a well-needed haircut, and finish the evening walking the dogs across the beach. Oh, that sounds lovely. Cheeseburger says we don't have cancelled daffodils in Worcestershire. Oh, we used to. There used to be daffodils all down Icknield Street Drive when I was a kid. I eat salad on a Big Mac, says Cheeseburger. Liz clarifies. No, the map is on the back of the paper bag. Steak bake, chicken slice. Sorry, I'm just looking. Somebody's just left a nice comment on a YouTube video. That's very kind. Steak bake, chicken slice, and sausage roll. No veggies or freshness, and very nice it was too. What, you ate? Steak bake, chicken slice, and sausage roll. Bloody hell. See, the problem with that is now I want a sausage roll for breakfast. I love a hot sausage roll in the morning. And I have a problem with sausage rolls. In fact, I have multiple problems with sausage rolls. Right, here is my sausage roll problem. Number one is they're too unhealthy to eat, but they're delicious. So that's problem number one. Number two is, how do you like your sausage roll? Now, I like, and I'm not ashamed to tell you this, I like my sausage roll good and soggy. Like, same with pies. I like pies that have been done in the chip shop where they're just kept under an angle poised lamp for about 3 days and they achieve that perfect peak sogginess. Well, I love a soggy sausage roll. And I think you only achieve that sogginess when they've been like kept under a hot Dubriferkin thing for a while. Now, if you bake a sausage roll at home, then it comes out nice and crispy. But then I'm just thinking about it. I used to have many years ago, I used to make garlic bread from I wouldn't dream of doing it now, of course, but I used to buy those frozen baguettes of garlic bread that you buy from the supermarket and bake at home. I wouldn't, why would you do that? I mean, it wasn't nice, and it's so easy to make really nice garlic bread yourself. I mean, it's childishly simple. Why wouldn't you do it? Just get a nice baguette or, whatever type of bread you want to get, basically. And slice it, slice it into, slice it in half and then longy bits. And then just get some really good butter, chop some garlic and put the garlic into it and any herbs that you care to make. Mix it up, slather it all over the bread, bang it in oven. But this is what I was coming to. Now, I like my garlic bread a bit soggy as well. I don't like it so crispy that it shatters and the crumbs go everywhere. And if you loosely wrap it in foil, then you can achieve that sogginess. And I'm just wondering now if you could do that with a sausage roll. Could you bake a sausage roll at home, loosely wrap it in foil and achieve the sogginess of a shop sausage roll that sat on the hot tray for, I don't know, half a day or something? I really want a sausage. If I lived near to a shop, I would genuinely go out and buy a sausage roll that I could bung into the oven in the morning and have for breakfast. Although I've got a steak for lunch and I wouldn't want to spoil that. So what I might do is buy a sausage roll tomorrow night and have it on Thursday morning. That would be nice. I could put that in the daily diary. That'd be a treat for you, wouldn't it? How banal and mundane can I make the daily diaries? How far could I get away with just putting absolutely even more meaningless, nonsensical crap in than I do anyway? That might be a challenge. Daily diary, Friday the 9th. Boaty organises his sock drawer live on camera. You can buy all the Greg stuff from Iceland, says Cheeseburger, and cook your own heart attack. See, Iceland, that's another of those places that are for other people, isn't it? I've never been into an Iceland, and quite honestly, I'd be frightened to go. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, there was just no need for that, was there? Oh God, now I've got hiccups. It's getting worse. This live streaming is no easy task. I can't handle sausages. Said the world's most unsuccessful prostitute. I can't handle sausages, says Black Lines. No idea why, but I get major bloating that causes anxiety, weirdly enough. Gosh, right. I like my sausage rolls underbaked, says Joe. And Liz says, yes, it was my lunch and breakfast and tea and supper. I eat like a camel. Lots and not often. Oh, and Blackline says no euphemisms implied. And Joe also clarifies underbaked meaning so not burnt. Sausage roll. I'm drunk. I'm saying nothing. Probably best. Chip shop pies are fantastic, says Cheeseburger. If I cook a pucker at home, oh, this is a good tip. I let it cool the microwave. It goes soggy. Oh, pucker pies are lovely, says Joe. No, I fancy one of them. God, so do I. Oh God. Oh, I've got curry for tea. Oh, and I've taken the chicken out, so I've got an emergency pie in the freezer, and I really fancied it. No, I can't. Pies and sausage rolls, they're amazing, isn't it? Aren't they? Isn't it a tragedy that they're not wonderful, healthy things that you could live on every day and live a happy and healthy life? They're wonderful things. I love a pie. And talking about chip shop pucker pies, there used to be an art to eating them when you were, somebody else not watching the live stream and mentioning me in a comment in Project Nigel, presumably. There used to be an art to eating the chip shop pucker pie when you went to the chip shop, well, you wouldn't have to be drunk. I mean, it happened when you were drunk, when you went from the pub or the club, which closed at 11 in those days, and then you went to the chip shop, which didn't close until, well, after the pubs anyway, because they relied on that trade. But you've got no cutlery and you're eating a chip shop pie out in the open. So you've got it, it's in the foil wrapper, right? And the art used to be, you used to peel a bit of the crust off, and it would normally separate into 3 parts. So you peel a bit of crust off, and then you use the crust, all 3 parts in turn, you use it as a spoon to hoik out the innards of the pie. Eat that, and you'd get 2 bites out of a slice of pie lid. Bit more in it, eat that. Then then you'd go to the other side and get the other edge. 2 bites, eat that. Then you go for the middle, eat that. And then your pie should be sufficiently emptied within that you could carefully tease it out of the foil wrapper and hold it almost like a sandwich and get it gone in 2 good bites. And those were the best mouthfuls that you'd ever get. Oh God, I want that so badly now. And talking of Greggs and maps and whatnot, who remembers, I wonder if it's changed, who remembers the colour coding on the foil on pucker pies? Let's go for it. Let's see if we can do it between us. I think that black foil was steak and kidney. I think yellow was chicken and mushroom. And I think red was beef and onion, I think. If you remember, let me know. Let's see if we can get it between us. Fleur-de-lis pies were even better, sadly no longer around. Oh, I don't remember fleur-de-lis. Oh, I do. I don't remember eating them, but I remember them being a thing. Our local chippy was a pucker pie chippy. And what I'd love to try, I don't know if they're still about. Now, as some of you know, I was a big Maclads fan. Still am. Are Titterton's pies still about? I would love to try a Titterton's pie. I mean, I love the name anyway. And of course, featured in a Maclad song, stretch marks on her bum, tasted pies for Tittertons, stretch marks on her bum, tasted pies for Tittertons. What song was that? Stretch marks on her bum, tasted pies for Tittertons, stretch marks on her. I can't remember which song it was, but I remember that lyric. Stretch marks on her bum, tasted pies for Tittertons. And then, in the video, because they actually released a video, and it had fake adverts on it, on this video. And one of the adverts was for Titterton's pies. And I don't know if this was genuinely a marketing sting of Titterton's, but the sting was every pie tasted. And then in the advert, they've got one of the roadies, the big fat one, the one who Battles Round was about, 10:30 and Battles Round. He's got a crazy wig on, and he's just getting the pies, taking a bite out, and putting them in the thing to go away and be sold. And that was the thing. Titterton's, every pie tasted. God, I wonder, has anybody got that video? I can't remember what it was called. But it was an actual VHS video that Hectic House in Macclesfield sold of the Maclads. And I used to own it. I can't remember what video it was. Would it have been Live at Leeds? I think that was a video, wasn't it? Live at Leeds. But there was another, they did another live concert, didn't they? The one in Birmingham that I was at. Because you can see me on it when I'm crowd surfing. Anyway, What? You must have baked beans with the sausage roll. Don't give mustard any though. Well, I agree with the second part. Baked beans with a sausage roll. Now, to me, that seems utterly, utterly wrong. But, now I've said that, I'm casting my mind back many years ago, shortly before the Second Punic War, to my childhood. Yeah, I did spill a bit then. Now, I don't know whether it was just in Redditch. I think it was a chain. There was a cafe thing, and I think Cheeseburger will know. Cheeseburger is my go-to man for all of these memories. It was a chain called Light Bite, or The Light Bite. And there was one in Redditch, and it was outside. It wasn't in the Kingfisher Centre. It was on Church Green, opposite the church. I'm sure it was. And it was like a proper, what would you call it? I mean, it's not like a proper old school cafe with a Nora Batty type waitress. It was one of those, I can't remember the name for it, but where you queue up with your tray and you get your bits off the shelf that you want. And then there was a hot section where somebody would serve you. And I'm pretty sure that my go-to meal there was sausage roll, chips and beans. It's kind of a school dinner type thing, isn't it? And it always came on a white school dinner plate that was always too small. And then, oh no. And I'm trying to remember what they dressed the table with. I think you got your paper napkin and your knife and fork out of the school dinner cutlery tray thing, which we've got at the restaurant, not for the customers, I hasten to add. And that just reminds, have you ever been to a cafe? We should do a whole live stream on old school cafes. Have you ever been to a cafe that had on the table, and not in an ironic sense, the tomato-shaped bottles for the red and brown sauce? One red, one brown, but both shaped like a tomato, weirdly. I used to love them. I'd love to have them now. I love kitchen kitsch. I'd love to have that in, God, I'd love to have a tomato-shaped, squeezy ketchup thingy. Oh God, happy days. Happy days, the Light Bite. I'll get on with the comments. Somebody, it's like a cafeteria, isn't it? Not a cafe, a cafeteria. And my favourite cafe ever, I'd love to know if it's still there. Right, the Cozy Calf. It was called the Cozy Calf, and it was on the Lytham Road in Blackpool. One of the roads a bit back from the shore. And it was this amazing cafe that served like proper school food with school cutlery on school plates. I loved it. This is true, I wanted to have my wedding reception there. I had my heart set on it, and we almost didn't get married because I really put my foot down with a firm hand that I wanted the reception at the Cozy Calf on the Lytham Road in Blackpool. And we'd all have their Sunday roast, the thinly sliced beef that was actually frozen and came with its own gravy and all of that sort of thing. And the mashed potato that was served with an ice cream scoop. So you had that perfect igloo of mashed potato. I loved that. And you had all of the local people in there and you could listen to them for hours and hours and hours. I remember that. I remember taking a girl there, and I can't remember which one it was, but I said, we've got to go to this place. I was rich at this time, and I insisted on taking her there. And I said, just sit and listen to the locals. It'll be the best day of your life. And we sat at this table eating our school food, and there was a table of 4, 2 elderly couples sitting next to us. And we just sat and listened to them for ages, for as long as they were there. It was the best thing ever. Have we seen new rad they got back Pier? No, what is it? Well, they put them in this little seat thing, and they put them back on a great bit of elastic, and they chuck them out into sea. Oh, whatever next? It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I loved it. We ended up having oh God, I'm talking about the wedding. I think I've told you this before. We got married in a Michelin-starred place, and Maggie wanted to have the reception there as well. And I said, look, most of the people coming to the wedding are your family and your friends, and most of them I don't like. Now, it's bad enough that I've got to pay for them to have a Michelin-starred lunch. I'm not paying for them to have a Michelin-starred dinner as well. And we compromised, and we had the lunch or wedding breakfast or whatever you want to call it, and the ceremony at Fisher's. And then we went down the road to a cheaper place and put on a hot buffet for about 400 guests that only cost me about £20,000. Could have gone to the Cozy Calf, and I wouldn't have had to have sold those cars to pay for it all. Daily diaries are the best, but I do miss their Land Rover eat. Oh, they'll come back. They will come back. I've never been to Iceland, but I've heard many good things. Do they still make Fräulein pies? Asked Blacklines. Of course. Hell yeah. And they are amongst the best things in the world. And again, we had this discussion not too long ago. And I swore that week I was going to have a Fräulein pie, and I didn't, and I must. This week, Fräulein pie, sausage roll. Cheeseburger says, Joe, too young for fleur-de-lis, Boaty will remember. I do. Pucker pie, lots of veg and gravy, yummy. What are the pies that are in a round blue metal can kind of thing? Yeah, that's Fräulein. Excuse me, Fräulein. Michael Burrows is here and says, hiya, how are you? I'm fine, thank you for being here. Can you show socks, please? I have a foot fetish, sorry, not a problem. I am happy to cater to all tastes. Prepare yourselves, darlings. Pardon my foot on the table. Tonight, I am wearing JCB branded thick work socks. Slight yellow accent. There is a JCB logo down there somewhere. And they are my go-to cold weather sock. I have been wearing summer socks, ankle socks, but the other day it was cold and it was miserable, and I thought, sod it, I'm putting my winter socks on. So that was just for you, Michael, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. That's it, says Joe. Fräulein, haven't had one of them for ages. I wear great socks, says Trace. Bollocks, Trace, you don't wear anything. You scamper around naked and the whole... you great naked with it. Oh, God. Go to any football ground, says Cheeseburger. I'd rather not. And you will see loads of fans eating pie in the manner you describe. Christ knows why they sell them there. I have been to a football match. I've been to one. And it was Nottingham Forest at Aston Villa. And Aston Villa were at home. I used to have SpongeBob socks, says Trace. What kind of socks are you wearing? Asked Michael. Well, I've just shown you. Hope you enjoyed that. I like wearing odd socks, says Joe. And Trace says, bear with Michael, he's just talking pies. Oh, have fleur-de-lis pies gone, says Liz. Their chicken and mushroom was epic. Oh, correct on foil colour, says Cheeseburger. Yay me. What colour for Boaty pies? Veggie is green. Boaty pies. I didn't know they were a bloody thing. I haven't got a clue what colour they are. And I didn't know that veggie pies were a thing either. Those are new, as in only happened in the last 30 years. Liz says, cheeseburger, the last time I had fleur-de-lis was in What's Cooking in Oswestry. An absolute treat. Oh, Ben's here. What's up, thy homies? Now, says Joe, who likes spaghetti hoops? Or are you a beans fan? Well, beans, I guess. I can't remember when I last ate spaghetti hoops. I do remember that a girl that I was dating, I say girl, that's disrespectful, a lady that I was dating made a cooked breakfast for me and her and a child or two that she must have had because I haven't got any. And she served it with spaghetti hoops. A cooked breakfast with spaghetti hoops. Now, obviously, I left immediately and never spoke to her again. Oh, and my wife, how did I marry her after this? Talking about cooked breakfasts. My wife, who made a good Irish breakfast, but when I first met her, she cooked bird's eye potato waffles in the toaster. Really? I should have known. I should have known the marriage was doomed. Live title, what colour is your pie? Oh, yes, it's your job. Don't forget, it's your job to name the live stream. I haven't named any of the last ones. I haven't got round to it yet. So I'll do them all tonight. So yeah, please, name tonight's live stream. Make it funny, make it quirky, make it interesting, and don't make it too rude because I'll get demonetized. I like what colour is your pie, except I'd be tempted to extend that to what colour is your pie foil. Yes, says Project Nigel. Captain Mustard is with us. He's just popped in after his editing. Now, I know what he's done. It's 3 minutes past midnight, and he knows that I finish at midnight. So he's come in. I mean, he'll have typed that about 5 minutes ago. So he'll have come in at 2 minutes to midnight thinking, I've only got to put up with 2 minutes of it, but I can say I was there. Of course I watched your live stream, Boaty. He'll say to me while I'm cooking his steak. He just doesn't mention that he only watched the last 2 minutes. Cafe, a bit like Wimbushes. Oh, I don't remember Wimbushes. I second what colour is your pie. Can you show socks, please? I have, Michael. These must be old comments. Can you take one sock off slowly and let me see, please? Absolutely. Let me just catch up with the comments and I'll get right onto that for you. Has to be Branson beans, says Leach. You've said this before. And Heinz spaghetti hoops. As an adult, it's not too shameful to enjoy these. Fair enough. Oh, Church Green is neglected now, says Cheeseburger. Many closed units, including Wetherspoons. We should all rock up at Boaty's restaurant and cause mayhem for a live stream. I'd love to do that. How would that be for a community meetup, right? We go to the restaurant, or you come to the restaurant, I'd be there anyway, have a meal. I've told you I'll section off the other bit for you. And then after the meal, we'll all do a live stream. Put the camera at the head of the table and have us all, and we'll all do it. That would be hilarious. Hello, Mustard. Hello, everyone. Hey, Mustard. How are you, Mustard? Message retracted. Hello, Mustard. Loved your Pateley Bridge show video from Sunday. Hiya. Can you show socks, please? Yes, I'll get onto that. Ben says, Boaty, the comment on a Project Nigel vid might be from me earlier. I felt compelled to mark Nigel's change of custodianship in my usual style, of course. Yay, Michael got his sock and some leg. Take one sock off slowly and let me see, please. Little tights. Trace is laughing her bottom off at her scampering naked. Just one sock off slowly, please. Only one. Noted. Puckered Boaty pies. That's a weird thing. God almighty. My daughter does potato waffle. I would like to see you barefoot. What the fuck is going on here? How am I supposed to keep this together? Oh God. Cheeseburger says my daughter does potato waffles in the toaster. Live title, don't put your waffle in the toast rack. Oh, I like that one. Just one sock off slowly. I want the sock to come off slowly with the closing credits fart music. And I'm actually going to, oh God, should we do that? Go on, let's do that. Let's do the sock off to the closing credits. Rob says, Boaty, I'd really like you to keep your socks firmly on and off the table. I think you might be outvoted here, Rob. Okay, if you would like me, if you would like me to slowly take off one sock to the fart tune during the closing credits, please comment off. And if you think I should keep my sock on, please comment on. And sock off, says Cheeseburger. I wish you would. Just sock off and never come back. Oh God, here we go. Off, says Trace. Off, says T. Oh dear. On, says Cheeseburger. On, says Rob, twice. Off, says Trace, but only in the closing music. On again, says Rob, who is very keen not to see my naked foot. Oh my God. Oh dear. Oh dear. Wait for the unsubscribers, says Joe. Title nomination, sock off. I wish you would. Let's screenshot that. Oh, Ross is here. Off. One vote only, says Cheeseburger, who is a stick. I know Michael Burrows isn't voted. Get him off. God. If I'm going to disrobe my naked foot, shouldn't we do it to the da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da? Or do you want it to the farting? Oh, Liz is in. Off! God above. No, it's got to be the fart music only, says Trace. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, God. Save it for your OnlyFans. If anybody wants the Roger Boaty profile, it's going free, apparently. Michael the Instigator has wandered off for a better foot option. Oh, no. Take the sock off to the music you used when Mustard was touching the gear knob on your video. That was Frankie Howard and June Whitfield, Je t'aime. And I got a copyright strike for that. And I fought it, and I forgot to tell you, I won. Took 4 weeks, but I won it. Another copyright one. Oh dear. You need to do it to the kitchen cabinet like Morecambe and Wise. Michael is still lurking because you can tag him. I should have insisted that he become a channel member before I start taking my clothes off for him. Aren't people supposed to pay you to do this sort of thing? Michael, send me a super chat or join as a channel member or something. You can't get me getting my kit off for nothing. Tracy's now screaming. Oh yes, says Ben. Oh, and Mustard has chimed in. Right, all together now. Mustard has mentioned Barry Shitpeas, and you know what that means? It's the law. 3, 2, 1. They call him Barry Shitpeas because he shits peas. Oh dear. Oh yes, you got it, Boaty. Hustle that toe. Rob says, I see Roger Boaty commenting on the Leicester Vintage Toy Channel. He stroke she always talks about 2024 being the year for the City Rover. Right, okay. Oh God. Right, I'm losing the bloody plot here. Is the Footman, are you still here? If Footman isn't here, then I'm going to be forcing my naked foot upon people who don't want to see it and quite frankly don't deserve it. Oh, what the bloody hell. Oh dear. Right then, darlings, well, we've got some good titles for the stream. Thank you very much for that. At least in the bath stream, the water covers the footsies. No such luck tonight. Look, I'll tell you what we'll do. The other foot peeps will find you as long as you title it properly. Is that how I'm going to become successful on YouTube? Every night I live stream my naked feet and show you my socks.